We live in a world that becomes more and more impossible to live in every day. Is this the world you think your generation can coast into on pot?
We know now that marijuana does not cause insanity. It does not provoke violence. It is not addictive. But the debris from such muddled notions lingers on.
I feel that a lot of the fear is due to the fact that the use of marijuana is spreading into the middle and upper classes.
Basically, people are not primarily concerned with the ethics or morality of the use of marijuana.
The effect has been a radical counter-reaction.
And Mac and Tom decide to tag along.
Today, marijuana supporters are just as biased in their claims for pot as their parents and grandparents were in denouncing it.
This means, perhaps,
nobody is going to stay an occasional user very long.
Despite stricter enforcement, more rigid laws, and more rigid attitudes on the part of the courts, the use of drugs in California is increasing.
Then there is the most vicious type of case.
2,000 people, in effect, have indicated.
Smoking marijuana to blow your mind is like...
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville.
Here is an example.
In man and animals, after a normal dose,
Mac has managed to get himself stoned.
And most of them said,
when I'm high, my head works more intelligently, more accurately.
This kind of life makes them feel much better and more insightful.
And these changes last from 1 to 2 weeks after administration.
Though sometimes it has little or no effect on some people.
Exhaustive tests are being made.
And among the 2,000 people, all of them said,
what's so bad about it? I mean, it's only a weed.
It's no worse than taking a drink.
Let me show you something.
80% of all Americans favor to legalize the weed.
Pot doesn't have the toxic effects of cigarettes.
Just take a drink. Come on.
And it doesn't lead to the excesses of behavior that alcohol does.
And he said,
what you've seen is true.
Marijuana's been around for thousands of years.
No one made any of these young people say anything they didn't want to say.
Let's face it.
Marijuana is not a narcotic. Its basic effects are roughly comparable to the effects of average doses of alcohol.
At this time, there are no known damaging physical effects from the use of marijuana.
The negative effects of smoking grass are exaggerated.
Wow.
All it is a neat way to dispel the problems of the day for a little while.
I can't see anything wrong with it at all. I know it's not physically harmful, and I never put the drug down. The drug, I couldn't call it a drug. It's just a weed because people call it a weed. It's put here on God's planet. It's put here for everybody.
So far, the best conclusions seem to be...
Turn on. Tune out of the rat race and its square problems. And tune in on real self-knowledge and creative power.
This is an age of change. An age when society and authority are constantly being challenged. All too often, drugs have played a part in or have been used as a principal means of rebellion against authority, to change a society that somehow hasn't fulfilled all its promise.
We must work untiringly so that our children are obliged to learn the truth.
The ability to work for effective changes of any kind depends on drugs to produce new insights.
It is not too much to say that
this world will be your establishment, and you will be the establishment. And what you do or don't do about it will be your scene.
Oh, Paula, in your hands lies the possibility of averting other tragedies like it.
Let's hope that your teenage children don't have too much criticism about what you did or didn't do because you were on
milk.